Hey, everybody, it's episode 15 of Electric Fancave on electricfeast.com. My dear co-host Heather Feather has to take some time off from the cast. Naturally, I think we all hope she'll make a triumphant return, but we're wishing her some good focus and happy days in the meantime. For now, don't close your iTunes just yet, because I want to introduce you to my awesome interim co-host, Miss Kristin Latourelle. Trust me, you're gonna love her.
Oh, gosh.
And we've got scholar, journalist, former director of communications for the Astros AAA team, general jack of all trades, and decent human being, Avery Holton, chatting with us today. We're going to gush about David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson's blatant Twitter flirtation. We'll discuss Clark Gregg's perfect new movie trailer for Trust Me, and the increasingly epic-looking Godzilla ads. Plus, we're going to talk about one of my favorite comedies of all time, Chris O'Dowd's Moone Boy, which has just come back for a second season on Hulu. And we'll let Avery rant about kids these days and their flat-brimmed hats and giant emojis. So, we'll get started. Avery, let me tell you, this is like, I realized this halfway through saying it, that I don't pronounce the letter T in the middle of words, and so your name is physically impossible for me to pronounce.
No, it's okay. Avery Holton. Close enough.
Avery
right?
Holton.
Yeah, and there are lots of jokes that are always made with my name. So
Really?
lots of calls. Oh, when I was with the Astros, actually, I used to get one where people would call in and ask for Gavery. And the front office lady, eventually she knew. Wendy eventually knew. And would say, oh, you mean Gavery weighs a whole ton? Yeah, he's next to it. Like, switch the call over. So I'm used to that. And then my middle name is Ernest, so I'm used to that.
Your middle name is Ernest?
Oh, yeah, give me those now. Where was that in school?
That is, yeah.
You didn't even have a chance, I feel like.
No.
It was like,
Now it's like, it's okay. When you're older, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
But when you're a kid, it's like, Ernest, huh? Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, well, my name's Corrigan, so...
Family name.
Yeah, my sympathy's limited. But see, the funny thing is you have like a super hip first name. So it's kind of funny that your middle name is Ernest.
Yeah, and to all the people out there that have named their girls Avery is a boy's name. It means King of the Elves. So let's
Does
get
it really?
Yeah. Super family name. Or Tree Fairies, depending on how you read it. So it's up to you.
So if it's Tree Fairy,
I'll let
though,
you
that could be a girl thing. I'm just saying.
Well, no, there are boy fairies, right?
Well,
We've seen
yeah,
them.
like in Fern Gully, they had boy fairies.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's up to you how you interpret that.
Yeah. And Fern Gully should really be the standard for most things, honestly.
Isn't it like the first Frozen?
It's
Cool.
Perhaps so. I always considered it the Avatar prequel, but
Not prequel, I don't know, whatever.
it is Avatar.
It is. There's the same movie. I'm like, I've seen this before, but it was way cooler because there's music and...
Yeah, and that creepy black sludgy thing.
Yeah, what was that? It was
Texas?
like alive, but not alive. It was like, ugh.
I think it was like an oil slick.
Spill. Yeah, because it was pollution. It was before its time. You know, it was like Captain Planet.
We weren't ready for it.
Yeah, we weren't. People were not ready for that kind of progressive environmentalism.
Actually, I would maybe argue that it was easier to get that movie made then when it wasn't like, environment is politics.
Right, because no one cared. That's why.
They were like, yeah, save the earth. That's cool.
Yeah, whatever. Fairies, sweet. Forest, cool.
Too political.
Too political now to be made. So, Avery.
Uh-oh.
Where are you right now?
What's happening behind you?
Yeah.
Oh,
on that wall.
So this is my giant whiteboard, and this is one of the... this probably shouldn't actually be up right now, but this is a drone prototype drawing.
Should we cover that? Or?
Yeah.
Well, we're trying to do something like this. This is like a small drone, like an $80 drone with a built-in camera. So FAA, look out. But we're trying to build something like this where we can take it up the mountain and use it to drop GPS location to drop dynamite. So like the guys don't have to go up the mountain to set off avalanches, controlled avalanches. It's what we're working on here, but I don't know how to actually build them. I just draw them and come up with the design, and then somebody else builds them. Somebody who knows how to like put these things together and what all these wires and controls do.
See, that would seem like the easy part.
So I can do this and nobody can see it, right?
Well, I thought it was a snowflake. So technically,
It's a snowflake. That's
I was
what
like, oh, is this like an ecosystem? Are you like a science teacher?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's his biome.
if I put my melon in the way, then you can't see it at all, right?
There
So
you go.
let's do the rest of the show like this. Awkwardly.
That's perfect. So, okay, your research is pretty far-reaching. It's kind of all over the place. Apparently, you're building drones or something like that. What's your degree in, for one thing? You're a doctor in what?
Philosophy, something like that. So no, I got all 3 degrees in journalism and communication, and my PhD is in social media and health communication, and I have a kind of a minor PhD in disability studies. So it's a little over the map, but I'm more interested in like how people interact with and use technology and social media and those sorts of things. So there is a common thread, even though I'm doing stuff with drones and stuff with kids with autism and cancer and social media. There's this like one thread that runs through there.
Yeah, that makes sense. And if you ever like look on like academia.edu or whatever and just look at Avery's CV, it'll make you cry because
I look at it every day just to shed tears.
there's so much on it, and you've gotten so many grants, and I don't know, your accomplishments are pretty crazy. So what are you doing now? What is this your main thing right now? You're doing the drones?
Drones is one of them. It's kind of a side project. So we're doing an honors level course here, and we're actually kind of taking on the FAA, who has duped America and duped everyone, including journalists, into believing that drones are illegal when in fact they are a guaranteed right now. So you could actually go out and use one, and if somebody sent you a cease and desist letter, you could just basically say stick it, and you could use it. So we're writing some law recommendations, but we're also building some innovative drones. And then my other work deals more specifically with how to get journalists and people to build actual digital communities together. So instead of just using, let's say, Twitter or something as a news source, to actually build a lasting community with that platform. And that actually is a little trickier than building a drone. Even though a drone sounds crazy and the law sounds crazy, it's really hard to get journalists, these news creators, on the same page as news consumers, right? And so we're trying to do that and build these communities. And so far it's going. It's not going
battle
great.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's an uphill battle, but we'll get there because more journalists now are catching on to this whole digital realm. You know, they're beyond just using email to respond, and they've become very responsive on social media.
Definitely.
So I think it's looked good, even though people say, journalism is dying. It's not journalism. Newspapers may be dying off, but journalism is just evolving.
Yeah, and when you say we, who is doing this, who are you working with? Who's a part of this process?
So really, really good question. So the other night, I went through and looked at all my collaborators for the past year, and there are 21 different people that I've worked with on different research projects, and they're all across the country, which is something a little different for academics, but it's something that helps me operate. They keep me reined in, and also tell me when my ideas are really stupid, because I have ideas. But they range from, here at the University of Utah to the University of Texas, where I was at, to Cornell, to USC, to Washington State, a couple of overseas in Belgium and Holland and the Netherlands. So there's a really big collective, and academia tends to be a small world, and they like to kind of go into this turtle shell, and everyone I work with is against that. Everyone there is trying to break out of that and actually show people, we're not just sitting behind some glass door. We're trying to bust out and do things that matter to people.
Right, absolutely. And now I think, what you're doing here is sort of fascinating, and this sort of course or this drone thing is just really interesting, and obviously it was something you wanted to discuss. But I was just going to yell, drones! At you. You were going to talk about it.
Drones! And I was terrified.
But
that's what once.
When you're working with sort of these legal elements of it and what this means for the public, and then these sort of pragmatic uses like, keeping people safe who have to do dangerous jobs using drones, how much is drone ethics sort of a concern in what you're...
It's huge. And I think the biggest part of it right now is coming up with the right definition for what drone is, because usually when we think about a drone, we think about this death machine or this war machine in the sky, or something really quirky, right? Like Amazon delivering beer and pizza to your house, something like that. Yeah, so we're just trying to reset the definition in people's minds of what drones actually are. So there's a big difference between a little hobby aircraft or a plane that you or I might build just to fly around, and then one that can be used for journalism or surveillance, or ones that can be used like the one behind me for some actual good, versus these death machines or surveillance machines. And that's where the public maybe not confused, but has been misled by the media and the government for what a drone actually is. And so we're trying to offer up a new definition, ones that make more sense, and to break those apart a little bit. So the FAA isn't lumping together a baseball with, an actual killing machine and the same laws and regulations. And so that's kind of the ethical, legal, perceptive side that we're attempting to change, but it's probably going to take some time, and the FAA moves incredibly slow.
Right, as is sort of to be expected.
Yeah, if a scholar says somebody's moving slow, then they're moving extremely slow.
Right. That's a really interesting thing to be sort of invested in, especially coming from this like communications background, working in sports. I mean, this is
I don't know. I feel like my brain sometimes like wants to get out and jump rope, and I just want to lay and watch TV. Like I can't control exactly what's going on or what direction I go in. All I can attempt to do is to like lie to myself and say there is a common thread for everything, and try to get everybody else to buy into it. Like, oh yeah, there's something going on there.
Well, it seems to be working.
Yeah, it's working so far. I've got everyone fooled.
Yeah, but I'm interested. What was it like working with a baseball team? Because you worked with them for like 6 years, you said?
So I covered, when I was in college, I used to write for the newspaper in Austin, and I covered the Round Rock Express, which at the time was the AA team of the Astros, then AAA team, and now they're AAA of the Rangers, and then they're going to go back to the Astros or something like that. And then I worked for them for 4 years as the director of communications, and I love baseball, but it is tough. Like when you work for 162 games, or however many games you work, 12, 14, 16-hour days. Ooh. And I also do team travel, so I was like moving all of these guys from city to city throughout the year. Mm-hmm. It's exhausting, and that's the only reason that I could ever think of leaving baseball is just the pure exhaustion. So for me, I was in a front office. I had a nice office. I could walk around. I could take naps. And then I think about these players who, they've got easier lives, and they come in at like noon and they're fed. But for these guys, it's not just 162 days out of the year. It's like 250 days out of the year. They're gone from their families. Yeah. They're working until 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And the pressure that their bodies are under, it's unreal that they can go through those seasons. So it gives you a new appreciation for what they do, but it also exhausts you. And then for me, I think it took away a little bit of the mystique of the game, because I saw all of the good, bad, and ugly and in between for the players and for the operations and what goes on. So there's some things you just can't like erase from your mind. Once you've seen them or heard them, they cannot be unseen or unheard. And that's just part of baseball. So part of me wanted to go back to that like 12-year-old phase where I was just like, look at them, they're players, they're huge.
Yeah, they're heroes.
They're heroes, but they're real people, right? Yeah. So they're good people, they're bad people, they're people that make mistakes, and you see all of it, and it just kind of changes how you look at the game a little bit. It's almost like getting too close to the sun, right? Eventually your wings burn off and you just fall down.
That's
not even a baseball analogy.
It was,
Watching
Let's go way back. It's way back.
Take it back.
Taking it back.
Is there do you have a favorite moment, like a funniest moment, or just like a great moment for you, like you met someone or something ridiculous happened from your time there?
Lots of ridiculous things happen, and I met lots of really good people. I think one of my funniest or one of my favorite moments is a personal one. So I did team travel, and basically, you're moving 35 guys and all of their equipment city to city. And I would get phone calls whenever they landed just to make sure things were going well, or when the bus got in. And one night we had a team coming in from Memphis, and something went wrong at the airport, and the bus wasn't there for them. And I got the phone call at like 4:30 in the morning, which I'm not a morning person. And so I said, well, I'll get up.
That is night. That's night still.
Yeah, that's still night.
Don't be fooled.
It is nighttime.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
It's the middle of the night.
I make some phone calls, and I'm kind of in this half daze, and I drive from my apartment like 15 miles to the stadium. I'm at the stadium, I'm trying to work things out, and the team gets there slowly, and I'm talking to everybody, and eventually, and this is like, by this point I've talked to like 20-something people just to make sure they're all good. Somebody says, where'd you get those boxers, man? And I look down, and I hadn't changed, like I had put on no clothes. So
no!
Wife beater.
No pants!
and it was summertime, and it was like 4:30 in the morning, and I'm meeting these like AAA / Major League players and managers in my boxers and my so that was probably one of my favorite moments, and I just carried on. Like, oh yeah, got these from where?
Oh my God, that's like
Oh,
that is out of a movie.
Yeah, so for like a year and a half or so after that, anytime I would go to Memphis or Memphis would come to us and the same players were there, they'd be like, oh, it's the boxers guy, polar bear boxers guy. That's what it was. Had on polar bear boxers. I will admit it.
Oh man,
That was one of my like personal favorites.
that's fantastic.
Lots of
That's
great.
a really good one.
Yeah. By the way, hey Laddie, you want to try turning off and turning on your video again, because you have the greatest grimace frozen on your face right now.
Yes! That's the way I like it. That's the way my face is.
See if it works out. But yeah, so okay, that's a little glimpse into who we've got on the show today. Avery Holton.
There's the T. I can just drop the T in for you.
Yeah,
Holton.
there we go. Avery
Holton.
Holton. The way I say it is Holton.
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 Ah, he's in the car. Holton.
I'm so glad that your video came back in time to see that happen.
Orange. Is he eating an orange? Is that how you say it? I can never do it right.
No, you don't sound anything like me. Stop trying to be me.
I'm pretty sure I sound just like you.
So you guys, let's talk about where do you guys have a preference on where we start on this thing? There's anything. Okay, I'm gonna say Moone Boy.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Let's talk about Moone Boy. Here's a little clip of the trailer. You guys don't get to see it.
It's okay. I'll watch it. I'm gonna close my eyes.
And
wait, did you already show it, or you like edit that in later?
yeah, I edit that in. Okay. Magic, laddie.
Okay.
No, you just have to sit here for like 3 minutes silently.
I don't know. You know, like when you go to see like a TV taping and they're always like, "Oh, we're gonna come back for a short break," and then they, so whatever. I get it. I'm new, but I've got it. Great. That was so funny. What was the clip? Should we talk about what it so we can pretend or no?
I was just gonna play like a trailer, so
okay,
it's fine.
Great.
Avery, you've only seen 2 episodes so far, right?
2 episodes. I'm new. I'm a newbie.
You're a newbie from the first season.
Yeah, I watched the first 2 episodes. So I'm at the point now where everybody's doing their hair like the local female candidate, presidential candidate.
Yes, so good.
Using like subliminal messaging to go around Mary. It's pretty fun.
For those who don't know about Moone Boy, which is ridiculous, you guys need to get on this. Moone Boy is a show created by Chris O'Dowd, who you might recognize from Bridesmaids and from what else?
The Sapphires.
The Sapphires.
IT
if you
Crowd.
don't know who he is, Sapphires probably isn't going to be the thing you know him from. But IT Crowd is probably a good one with Richard Iwade. And he's amazing. And basically this is set in Ireland. And I get the sense that there's sort of a loosely autobiographical thing about these stories. But it's about a kid who has an imaginary friend. And this is like, I think it starts in 89, right? Avery, you would know because you just started this.
Yeah, 1989, right around the time Edward Scissorhands comes out. That's referenced. I don't know. The first episode.
So it's like 89, and then it moves into like 1990 later on in the season, I believe. So it's late 80s, early 90s in Ireland, in this small town with this precocious little child who's a total nerd and has an imaginary friend played by Chris O'Dowd, who sort of is sometimes the voice of reason and most of the time encourages this kid's ridiculous ideas. Oh my gosh. And the second season just came out on Hulu, so everyone should be watching it. Is this not pretty much the best show ever?
No, it is.
It
definitely is.
I'm like an old Wonder Years fan. So I don't know, like I was tying the two together and I was like, what if Fred Savage had an imaginary character? To just add a little bit extra because every show always wound up having a lesson at the end.
Yeah.
What if, instead of the lesson, what if we just had like this imaginary character that came in and talked to him? This super tall guy playing the banjo occasionally,
right?
Like character does, and offering like usually words of wisdom. I always think like what he says is spot on. It's like fatherly / brotherly advice. So sometimes it gets him in trouble, but it's always meant to be like good and self-serving to help him out.
Right.
Is awesome. But his humor, I don't know if anyone else can like nail the humor the way he does.
Right.
Like, spot on.
He manages to be like simultaneously sincere and absurd at the same time.
Yes.
Like a kid giving CPR to a bird, right? Like, I'm not ruining anything for anybody who hasn't seen it because this is early on.
Yeah.
But giving CPR to a bird and like trying to talk the kid first through CPR and then why it's okay that he was giving the bird CPR without slipping it the tongue, you know, making it weird for everyone else in the room. Like perfect imaginary friend.
It's so good. And I think one of my favorite things about this too is like the season is only 6 episodes long, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, and the episodes are like 23 minutes, super short, so you can binge watch them in an instant. And then
I watched the whole thing yesterday.
You watched the whole thing?
I watched the season because I only watched half of the first season, so I watched a season and a half. Actually, technically, it was like Saturday night, Sunday morning. So
yeah, the first time I saw the first season, I won't lie, I watched it twice in one day.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That happened.
It's just like watching. It's like watching Lord of the Rings or something. That's that's how long it is essentially. Because Lord of the Rings is really long.
That. Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying, if you're gonna watch both seasons, or if you watch 2 seasons at once, like,
this is true.
The same.
And so it's like a really quick binge watch. And the second season, which Laddie knows now because she watched it as well, holds up to the first one, which is always the terrifying part. Is like, oh God, I've been waiting for this for so long.
Yeah, I liked it because there was more of his friend, and I can never say his name because it looks like it should be. Yeah, and I'm not like Irish, so I'm like, it looks like it should be like Patrick, but it's not. It's whatever, and I'm like, it confuses me. But him and his imaginary friend are so amazing because his
imaginary friend coming.
Yes. Oh man, and he is like a dumpy, overweight older man. Is just perfect.
Oh my God. Yeah, well, he perfectly matches the guy, the kid. I'm just gonna call him the kid because
that's fine.
I'm sorry. It's hard,
kid.
but it's brilliant. God.
And I love all the characters in this are just great, and I think the parents are some of my favorite TV parents.
See, we should watch the second season because there's that one that I want to talk about, but I don't want to ruin it either, so I won't. But the parents are great because they're like always in cahoots, and they think I don't know. They just I don't want to talk about it because I want people to watch it. Can I just talk about it anyway? No, I don't want to give it away. I'll just say and laugh hysterically. It's really funny. The one I'm thinking of is like so good. I'm like, you're the worst parents, but also the best parents, and I am like in love with the dad just a tiny bit. I would kind of
super in love with the dad.
I'm like, I would marry you. I don't know. I love you. I love everything about you. He's so adorable.
He's always wrestling for like dad control.
Yeah.
So wants to be loved. So
yeah.
He's this constant conflict going on with his dad buddies. Like, I'm going to show who's in control, but then when it comes to the family, he's just like a softie.
Yeah. Because have you seen yet the one with the kid who beats up?
Yeah.
When he goes over to his house, he goes over to the parents' house to sort of give him a piece of his mind about, his kids bullying and the guy's just like, oh yeah, they're the worst, aren't they? Like, I hate them.
Yeah. Wait, what?
And he goes over and he's got a hammer.
Yeah.
He's got
like, is that a hammer? And they just joke about it. He's like, you were gonna bash my face in, right?
Yeah.
I was. All right, come in. Let's have some fun.
And that's just like I don't know. I feel like there's something fun about these sort of shows where I don't know if the 90s were like a different time or if I just don't know a lot of families at this point in my life, but I'm like, I feel like that sort of level of dysfunction was sort of characteristic at that point, and it's sort of reminiscent of my own childhood in some ways. But it's it's the absurdity and sincerity that sort of mix together without being too I don't know, like sappy.
Right.
Yeah.
When there's a message, it's cute, not...
It's the nicer alternative to, what's that show, Parenthood?
I love Parenthood.
That show is rough.
It is. I sob every episode.
Oh, of Parenthood?
Of Parenthood, yeah.
Oh, I just don't love that show so much.
Well, if you want to sit and cry once a week, then it's the perfect show to watch.
You're an easy crier. Because Parenthood...
yeah.
Parenthood is off the chart. Like, things in that show do not happen in real life. They're just not real life. Don't watch it anymore, Corey. Put it down.
You know what? You just need to hang out in like Marin County, and you're like, yeah, these are totally the white people problems that people have up there.
People, right? Maybe that's it. Like, I need to have more white people problems.
Exactly. That's your thing. You need to be like a rich white person in Northern California, and you're gonna be like, oh,
I feel like I've got one of those three. I'm white. I'm like,
check that off the list.
Boom.
White people love parenthood, Avery. You're failing.
Well, everybody else just doesn't know how hard we have it as white middle-class males.
Y'all don't know what it's like being that middle class and white. You know that song, right, guys?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Ben
Totally
Folds.
Totally accurate.
Yeah. Rockin' the Suburbs? No?
Oh, man.
Okay. Well, it exists. I didn't just make that up. Yeah. So,
Stop
also,
it.
the other day, I think it's worth mentioning that I tweeted at Chris O'Dowd about my love for the show, and he thanked me for it. So I'm pretty sure we're married now.
Pretty much.
Just-
Yep.
Is anybody else tired of all of Corey's like exploits with
Oh.
actors, cool people, awesome places? It's like this fantasy world thrown in your face all the time.
No, I enjoy it because it's like I feel like I get to live through it because I'm like, oh my gosh, that person, you know, I don't know. I think it's, and plus I feel cool by association. Like, oh, my friend Corey, she totally hugged Carl Urban once. It was like super sweet, and no one cares, but I care, and I think it's cool.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Yeah,
That's
my
really-
favorite is when you tell people and they don't know who that person is, and so then you get to like try to tell them, like you pull up IMDb or something.
Yeah.
Ah,
Well,
you
what
know-
has he been in? And they're like, I'm like, okay, well, he's cool. Trust me.
That's the thing is because like I have like no interest in meeting like Brad Pitt or like something like that. It's always like some random person that's like that guy from who knows what.
Who would be the one celebrity that like everyone knows that you haven't met that you do want to meet?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, J-Law, obviously. That's I want to wife her.
Wife her.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I want to wife J-Law. So yeah, that would probably be it. That and Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
Liam
Liam
Neeson's. Sorry, what, Avery?
Diversify so well.
Wait,
How does he get through every one of his roles the way he does?
I feel like you might be being sarcastic.
No, he's got a unique set of skills, right? Right?
It's true. He's a very
I will
specific-
say I've seen like all of the last movies, all of which are like Taken, right? There's like Taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, there's
Like his last
It was
6.
like Taken with Wolves, Taken on a Plane.
okay.
Yeah.
Taken on a
And-
Plane was awesome though.
It was good. That was a
Yeah.
good movie.
I
It was-
loved it.
It was cool. Did a good
Um,
job.
Or as Heather and I call it, Now and Stop. Non-stop is the name of Taken on a Plane.
Oh, so good. Well, I'd actually say it. I can't even see it now because all I think about is that Key and Peele sketch. So every time I
know,
see the
right?
trailer, I can't even take it seriously.
Yeah, have you seen that, Avery?
Yes.
That was a great sketch. But no, I loved Nonstop, and it was fantastic. And Liam Neeson comes up often on this show, so that's probably like someone that people actually have heard of that someday I would like to accost somewhere. I have probably the person that I've met that like everybody would actually know would be Brendan Fraser. That's like the one person.
Yeah. I don't think I'd tell people that though. So
Yeah.
Is that guy?
that Journey from the
Just
Center of
say
the
who's
Earth.
that guy. That's what you pick? He was like huge in like the 1990s. Encino Man.
Oh, well, he was in what's it called?
Yeah.
Encino Man.
For
Right,
me.
is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
That's some
Right.
new movie though, right? Like a movie with like a little kid genius or something.
That wasn't that. No, I'm thinking of something else. 'Cause he was in like a cancer movie. He's in stuff all the time.
Yeah.
He's
He's a
just-
good actor.
He's just not in like a lot of popular stuff now. Whereas like he was like huge for a period of time.
Yeah.
And The Mummy. The Mummy is probably
Oh,
like the biggest thing that.
Obviously.
And those are shticky. They're supposed to be.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Just him on those, like for his acting ability.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, he was very, very nice. Also very, very upfront about his feelings towards, Hollywood and why he does what he does. But yeah,
Okay.
he was a good
Saying, what did he say?
in terms of like being in it for the money and things like that. He's like, I got a family, I got to support, things like that. And it's like,
Awesome. I like that though.
yeah,
He's
he was
honest. Being
Honest.
honest.
very upfront sort of guy. He also showed me pictures on his iPhone of himself dressed as Elvis. Apparently he was in a movie that had like Elijah Wood and all that kind of stuff, and like he was in the middle of filming it at the time. But this is in Northern Ireland where I met him. But he he had like on his phone pictures.
Get it, Corey.
Ireland.
Been to Ireland. I'm so cool.
Northern Ireland on a rainbow when I met. No big deal.
I was trying to point out that
I was just
not
like in
where
a
he was
pub
filming this
in
movie.
North Ireland. It was pretty sweet. You know, we were just like drinking around, hanging. It was cool.
It was a bar, actually. So
Whatever.
Like, get it straight. No.
Yeah, most people would just meet the celebrity. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, I met Brendan Fraser." Move on. Not you. You like
No.
You get their phone photos. You get their number. You're tweeting each other.
In fairness, I didn't have a choice in this matter because I think he's like I get it. I'm like an introvert. You don't want to like have to schmooze with people, and I think he really like didn't feel like schmoozing, so he wanted one person to like talk to. And so like
You were his out.
Yeah, so I kid you not, I was like, well, you know, it's nice talking to you. I went to walk away and he grabbed my arm and showed me the iPhone photo.
Wait. Don't leave.
Yeah, it's like, hey, so I'm working on this movie in like Nashville or whatever. I was like, we're still talking. That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Otherwise, sometimes I run away. I ran away when I met Matt Davis from Vampire Diaries because he was too cute and I couldn't talk to him.
Is that the guy that was in Legally Blonde?
Yeah.
Cannot look him in the eyes.
I couldn't. It's like, you're pretty. So yeah, that's Moone Boy. Oh, but also let's not get away from Moone Boy without talking briefly about the trailer that Kristin pulled up as well for Bachelor Weekend, which has the dad from Moone Boy, who's amazing, and also Moriarty from Sherlock.
And the crazy art teacher plays the fiance. Did you notice that?
He's the same guy from Chocolat, right? Hugh O'Connor?
Just with different...
Oh, the priest that likes Elvis.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
He's
and he's
finally
also from
starting...
Three Musketeers.
Yeah.
That's what I know him from because
of course you do.
I love that movie.
Yeah. He's finally starting to age a little bit, and I don't know if I'm okay with it, because he's looked like he was 14, like, forever.
Right.
And
true.
Now he's, like, got wrinkles, but still looks like he's 14.
Yeah, that's creepy. He's like Benjamin Button or something. I don't know what's going on.
It's confusing to me when people, like, kind of get older, but don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
Keep that boy face.
Yeah, I don't...
The contest.
Freaks me out. I was about to say...
be like Richard Gere and age beautifully.
I know. Or Robert Redford.
Yeah.
That guy's doing it right.
He's doing it right. I mean, he hasn't had anything done either, right? So you just see...
I don't think so. Yeah, he just...
And he's still he's like the man's man, right?
Yeah, he's like rugged and, you know, he can wear the hell out of a suit. As we saw
God,
in
Captain America.
Captain America, yeah.
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing in that suit, let me tell you.
Yeah, he did.
He's working it.
Yeah, he did.
He's working
it.
it.
He picked that one out himself.
Except
in his closet.
I still always see him as Roy Hobbs. I'm like, man, Roy Hobbs has really come along. Now he's like this evil villain all these years later.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Gosh.
Who would have known? Yeah. There goes the best there ever was.
I love it. I love the idea of like continuity, like just imagining an actor as the same character from when
for their own everything.
Yeah. As, like basically Bruce Willis is just John McClane all the time.
So true. That's true, actually.
What?
Except when he's in Red or Red 2.
No, he's John McClane.
We try to forget him though. Like we just try to forget those. Like those are accidents.
Whoa.
You guys are not going to tell me that you liked Red and Red 2.
I hated Red 2.
I didn't see Red 2, so I can't really speak to that. But I love
Red.
Red
Is awesome.
Great.
Yeah.
Are we being for real?
I don't.
Let me bring my parents in, and you guys can carry on the conversation now.
I don't understand. Red is a perfect movie, and it has Carl Urban, and everything in it is great.
And John Malkovich, when he's not being super creepy, that you have nightmares about him. That's all I ever do.
Not creepy.
The one non-creepy John Malkovich movie you'll ever see. So I feel like that's good enough to make it a good movie, or reason enough, or something, or whatever.
I feel good about it.
I should touch that button.
Yeah, I don't.
No, rude. That's rude. Actually.
I'm starting to question you now, Avery.
Strike one, right? We get 3 strikes.
Yeah. Well, that's a big one.
Probably should have saved it. I think that technically counts as 2 strikes because there's so many.
There's so much
things wrong with that statement. Golly.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, Bachelor Weekend
looks great.
Really fun.
Looks hilarious.
Well. And maybe I'll put a clip of the trailer in if you're lucky. We'll see. But yeah, I just like, I don't know, it's a very different sort of character for this guy than what he plays on Moone Boy, because he's sort of like, if this were The Hangover, he's sort of the Zach Galifianakis of this movie.
it's like a more legit hangover, right?
Right.
It's supposed to be like this.
Well,
so
it's British, so
like,
it's better, right?
it's better. It's more realistic. And the Hangover is like stuff that really would never, like even one little thing in Hangover never really happens to anybody. But in this movie, it looks like several things have already happened to us.
This is actually what Avery's stag weekend was like.
He's like, I'm like, I run through naked the woods. Wait, I mean, I run naked through the woods.
It's polar bear boxers.
Yeah,
right?
polar bear boxers, obviously.
Obviously.
This is my thing. Like, the Irish do like things so much better than we do because like they make this version of like the Hangover, and you're right. Like these are things that could feasibly happen to people, and like that kind of stuff. And then there's like this. I love terrible sci-fi movies like Sharktopus and stuff like that. They made one called Grabbers, and it's actually good. Like, it's a terrible creature movie, and it's good. Like, so they can't fail even when they try.
Is that the one that's like people are going out on boats and just disappearing, and there's something pulling them from the water? Is that one, or am I thinking of another terrible Netflix suggestion that I got soaked into the other night?
They're from the water, and they do grab people. I don't know that boats play a huge role in it.
I probably watched something else. One of those like 2 a.m. whatever Netflix suggests I'm taking at that point.
Yeah. Have you guys seen the Netflix Roulette app, by the way?
Yes. It's good.
What? Yeah.
Is it for your phone?
Yeah.
That kind of app, I guess. That's the only kind of app that's up there. I don't know.
Yep. And it picks a movie for you, and you just watch it.
I don't know.
It's better than the like 10 suggested titles for you.
Yeah.
Because usually I'm like, wait a minute, how that has clowns in it? I hate clowns.
Nope.
Like that. But this is just totally random. But you can pick, right, Corey? Like if you want sci-fi or thriller, and then just shake it up.
I haven't tried that actually. You probably can.
Yeah, just pick a genre of whatever you're into that night.
Yeah. Because my thing is usually I just end up like scrolling forever through Netflix. It's like I was in the mood for something when I got here, and now I have too many choices, and I'm just.
And then I just go to bed because I quit. And I get overwhelmed.
Exactly.
Like, forget it. I'm just gonna go to sleep.
Yeah, I've been scrolling for an hour.
It's 8 p.m. I'm just gonna call it a night.
Okay, you have both frozen in hilarious ways on here.
Oh, so you're kind of frozen too, but your box keeps blinking like you're talking, so it's kind of fun.
Oh, Avery's back.
I'm back.
You're back.
Should I turn mine off and turn it back on?
Or you could just keep looking super disapproving at me. Oh, and now Avery's a picture.
Why am I always disapproving of things that you guys are saying? I feel like I'm being rude.
I don't know.
I like everything you're saying, except your red comment, which is still ridiculous.
Yeah. That was poor form, sir. Poor form.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Great. Perfect.
And we're back!
And we're back.
Why are you still calling me? What's happening?
Oh my god. My friend I don't know if you can see that text message. Laddie will probably be excited about it, but okay.
I can see it. What did it say?
What it said was, my friend Alex, she just texted me and said that she just saw Fran Kranz crossing the street. Yeah. Yeah.
Call it a day.
My heart.
So that happened.
Yes, I'm doing. Can you see it? I'll get this up.
All right, we're gonna have to be very efficient. We talk too much.
Sorry. Here we go. What are we talking
apparently Avery's got to get his hair did.
Look at this thing. They gave me like a faux bowl cut. They got to go back and redo it. So
you don't even like have that much hair.
I've got like a faux hawk though. Who has a faux hawk now? This is like.
Is that not a thing anymore?
Well, I think it's a thing if you're like an MMA guy, right? MMA guy.
It's a good point.
So.
Well, what everybody's
I feel like
doing...
you should add that to your CV. It would make it even more impressive. That's what it's missing is MMA guy.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Seriously.
I feel like if you're in MMA and you have ears like this, they're just going to turn into like those giant cauliflower ears like after one fight.
Oh, like that guy from Expendables. What's his name?
I don't know, but I don't like the sound of
Jason
it.
Statham? Or is that him?
It's the wrestler guy that has one.
Couture?
Yes, that guy. He's got one. I like stare at it every time he's on screen. I'm like, oh, guy.
We should talk about Expendables 3 and how it's like watching slow death, right? It's like watching chlamydia take somebody's life. Or like, every time I see the preview, I'm like, there they go.
It is, Expendables seems like it would be the perfect movie for me because I love like action and things like that. But I actually didn't like the first one, so I never saw the second one.
Oh, the second one was unbelievably bad. It was this close to Flyboys. Flyboys is the only movie I ever walked out of in a theater.
Flyboys, that was where you draw the line, huh?
My gosh, I walked out and like asked for my money back and an extra box of hot tamales. I was like, getting through even
Wow.
some of that.
That's a really thorough refund, man. Dude.
They owe me.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, in fairness, I never had the inclination to go see them in the theater. Like, I saw commercials and I was like, that will be terrible. So that's kind of on you, Avery.
That's how I felt about Red, but I still tried to give it a chance, you guys. And I came out thinking the same thing.
It would be in your best interest not to keep bringing this up. Flames on the sides of my face.
It's like the smoke is coming out of my ears.
Oh, God. It's so good.
You have like an anger translator right here, being like,
Would it help if we transitioned into Godzilla?
Yes.
yes!
To Godzilla?
Okay. For one thing, the movie trailers, are you with me? They look awesome.
Oh, man. They're hardcore.
Yeah.
They're hardcore.
Can they do that music that's like, ding, you know, it's like the, I can't do it very well, but you know.
That was actually it. That was what they did.
Nailed it.
You in the studio, unfiltered.
Yeah. I know.
I want to do like a recut trailer where we have Laddie do the music.
For everything. Just that noise.
I do great sound effects, you guys.
Okay, what's great? The Indian girl in my cohort, like from India, she says their gun sound is dishkow. So,
What?
yeah.
Dishkow.
I don't know which is worse, yours or that, but
Dishkow.
dishkow.
Rude.
Is it cow or dish towel?
Dishkow.
Cow. Like a cow? Like they're shooting cows? I thought they liked cows there. That's weird.
Well, I don't.
Hey, wait! Godzilla, did you hear that he eats cows?
He eats cows.
No, I'm
The
just
real
trying to bring it back. I was trying to bring us back onto track with Godzilla.
I see where you're going. Okay, good job.
It wasn't very good.
I bet he'd eat a
That was a
cow.
stretch. He probably would. He
Yeah,
eats
why
lots
not?
of things, right?
Yeah.
Or smash.
Does he? Is that
I don't know. He
what
actually
Godzilla
just
does?
seems to smash things.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
seems so like it's just so rude. He just smashes
Yeah.
stuff and it's not even
Yeah.
for like the sake of eating it.
Right? I know. He's just very wasteful.
Yeah.
I feel like if we talk to him, though, we could have him do it for good, right? He could be like this ultimate destroyer who knocks down buildings, who like
Yeah.
takes all the landfills and mushes them together and like chunks them out into wherever they go. I don't know where landfills go.
See, this is what Avery does. He takes destructive things and he figures out a
Yeah.
pragmatic.
Non-destructive.
Godzilla to be a productive member of society.
That's all he
gotta
really
do.
wants, isn't he?
Yeah, he's just trying to shake her hand and be nice, but his hands are too big.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like Reptar.
Yeah, he's not going to be a very functional member. He could try.
No, he tries.
Unless wasn't there some show like called Dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Had
Not the mama. That one?
Mm-hmm.
so they tried.
Yeah. I found that show simultaneously terrifying and
Yeah.
intriguing as a child.
Right.
I was just bringing this up to someone the other day because there was an episode of that where like the grandmother goes to her like bajillionth high school reunion or whatever, and she's the only one still alive, and that like scarred me as a child. It's like I think that's why I'm averse to the idea of reunions to this day.
Because you think you're going to be the only one there?
Yeah, everyone's just gonna be dead, and it's just gonna be me.
Wouldn't you know though? Like, wouldn't you would have invited yourself, right? Like,
Yeah. How did
you
you get
gotta
invited
Stop
to?
trying to reason with dinosaurs.
Yeah. It is a movie about animatronic dinosaurs that have babies, so.
Are they even animatronic? I feel like they're like puppets.
Or they're people inside suits, I thought.
Oh, that's probably it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know how
they're
big they were.
And the mom from that, I'm fairly certain is Jessica Walter.
Really?
From like Archer and Arrested Development.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the voice. It's been a couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go watch a clip of it.
Yeah, I think it's on Amazon Prime. I'm not positive. But anyways, Godzilla looks
Godzilla.
great. More
Looks
importantly,
Looks great.
we were
Godzilla
having a
looks-
discussion of the soundtrack of the old,
Yeah.
not old Godzilla, but the medium old Godzilla from like 1998.
With Matthew Broderick, that one. I went on the iTunes and did the preview because I don't remember. I didn't listen to it.
Oh, it's worth washing away. It was not. Although I think I saw it like 2 or 3 times in the theater because it was one of those first, like Independence Day and those kind of movies
Yeah.
where you wanted to see them, but it was just terrible. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't good then. It's still not good now, except for the soundtrack, right? It's
Yeah.
P. Diddy.
No opinion.
Yeah. I believe you mean Sean Puffy Combs.
Yeah, whatever it was back then,
Puff
right?
Daddy.
by
Yeah,
their name.
I think
right?
he was Puffy at this point. This is what it
Well,
says on
I'm
the Wikipedia
just-
page.
Well, what I'm saying was from iTunes when I previewed all of the tracks yesterday because I didn't know what you guys were talking about. I did the little preview, and then he's listed as Puff Daddy next to his song. He sings.
I stand corrected. He is Puff
Puff.
Daddy.
Up that.
I know it's hard to keep track. He's got
It
lots
is.
of names.
He's
you know.
constantly reinventing himself. I don't know who he is now. It's fine. He's that guy in all those commercials with the, what is that, like Comcast commercials or something? Have you seen those? Or Time Warner?
And they go to the rooms and they see famous actors and stuff, and he's like hosting, and they like the True Blood guys and the boxing. Yeah,
Yeah, and
I don't know what that's
Schreiber.
for. I have no idea.
I want to say it's Time Warner, but anyways, that's all I know of him at this point.
No, Time Warner has the football coach. I hate that one. You know,
Those are stupid.
terrible. Anyway, soundtrack to Godzilla was
But yeah, this was
super great.
I always love that, like, when they play Brain Stew by Green Day on the radio now, they still start it with, like, they do the version from the Godzilla soundtrack that's like, and then,
It's in there. It's a reminder.
dun-dun,
Godzilla exists.
dun-dun. Yeah, and like the soundtrack has like Rage Against the Machine. It has
The
Ben
Wallflowers.
Folds 5.
The Ben
Wallflowers.
Folds song on there is like one of the greatest Ben Folds songs ever.
It
right?
is.
It's
Yeah.
really good.
Why is it on this?
I don't know. I do remember. So it's called "Coming Up for Air," right? And it's I think
Yeah.
it's this metaphorical, like rebirthing yourself kind of deal. But in one of the original trailers, and I couldn't find it anywhere last night, but I remember it from senior year of high school, like wanting to see Godzilla because Ben Folds is there. It has like Ben Folds singing "Coming Up for Air." It was like this epic trailer with Godzilla coming up out of the water in like slow-mo, and they were trying to make Godzilla into this like heroic looking figure. He's coming out of the water and water's like glistening off his body, and he's got
Baywatch.
yeah, that's why I have like a six-pack. And then they've got Ben Folds playing in the background, and I remember even then just being like, what is happening? And then you see Matthew Broderick, and I'm like, what? Is this gonna work? And it
Yeah.
Oh.
It
I don't know.
turned out your high school brain was right. It didn't
Yeah.
work.
And I feel like for Godzilla, they should have, now you've got like Spider-Man coming out, 2 years later after one Spider-Man. They should
Right.
have done that with Godzilla. Like they should have really remade that quickly. Like
Well,
we got to fix this problem.
at the time, though, like, I don't know that, like, they were churning out, like, good remakes of things, So, like,
Yeah.
now is the moment to actually be able to put out something that's, like, they're taking stuff like that seriously, where I don't think they quite knew how in 1998 or whatever, You
Yeah.
can make superhero movies that are serious in this day and age.
And I think the CGI has finally got to the point where like Godzilla, at least in the previews, looks legit. Like I'm terrified.
Right. Like,
That
it's
is a
scary.
real Godzilla. He's coming.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it, and like the cast is great, and really, you can't go wrong with Bryan Cranston at this point. So,
Or an Olsen.
or well, not just an Olsen; it has to be that particular Olsen. You could probably go very wrong if you put Mary-Kate or Ashley in something.
That's valid. It's a valid point.
She was in.
I don't know. I mean, I really liked the New York Minute, so I'm pretty sure they could pull it off.
She was in that like Beastly movie or something like that. The one. That
Oh,
was
the one with Alex Pettyfer. He
Yeah.
was like supposed to be ugly, but I'm like, he still looks kind of hot. I don't know.
Yeah, and she is like she was the worst in it. She's like some sort of weird like gypsy lady, and
Yeah.
she's just like kind of talks like this.
Yeah. No, yeah. Well, but Elizabeth Olsen is like the best one of the three or
Yeah.
something. Anyway.
She just like appeared and was like, "Hey, I'm awesome," and they've had me in a basement for the past 20 years, but now they let me out.
Which is ironic if you think about it. Did you guys see Winter Soldier?
Yes.
Yeah.
After the credits,
Oh yeah.
she is in a basement and she's all like, ugh.
Metaphorical.
Yeah. Go figure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nice catch there, laddie.
Is the guy from Kick-Ass, is he also in?
Mm-hmm. He plays the twin or whatever.
Okay.
Oh wait, which one movie are we talking
Which one are you
about?
talking about? Godzilla
Both.
or X-Men?
He's
Oh,
both.
Godzilla.
Because he plays her husband in Godzilla, and her brother in Winter Soldier. I mean, not Winter Soldier, Ultron, but kind of also Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
That's kind of creepy.
I know. That's always weird. That's like Dexter status.
Oh.
oh, I know, right?
Yeah.
I know it's not real, but it still feels incestuous and wrong to me, even though obviously they're not really related.
And they're not married anymore, but it still was weird.
Ew.
I didn't like that.
You know, these things can still happen. So we
Apparently.
can just call Clive and Bundy, right, and see if it works.
Let me tell you a little something I know about the incestuous.
It's America.
TV.
We knew we want America. No laws.
Oh boy. So that was Godzilla. We are working through. And Clark Gregg is our. We definitely need to discuss this. Avery, did you see the trailer for Trust Me?
Yeah, I saw the trailer, and I'm gonna tell you guys. You can edit this out, but I haven't watched Agents. But
like the show.
I don't watch it either.
Yeah. I'm just a big Clark fan.
Yeah.
Have been for years.
Did you guys know he wrote What Lies Beneath?
Yeah. He's been around for a while, but he's only written, I think, 3 or 4 things.
Yeah.
But they've all been good.
Yeah.
And this looks like another, it looks really good, right?
So good.
I was tearing up.
I was too. You guys, he's just wonderful. He's wonderful. He's a wonderful human. I know. I mean, all I can think of is Much Ado About Nothing, because that was I feel like the epitome of his one. I mean, he's still wonderful in other things, but I'm that is where I'm the bar is set high. So, and this looks like it's gonna be up there. So,
Avery,
did you see Much Ado, Avery? The black and white one with Joss Whedon.
I saw that. I saw it once at this crazy little theater in Austin where they bring you beverages and stuff. And then
is it the Draft House?
No, it's a new one that they have. Violet Crown. That's downtown. It's new and a little swankier and smaller, and they have small plates. They bring you to feast on. No, but it was really awesome. And then I saw it on TV, and then I was ooh, it's not so awesome. You have to be in this theater setting to really enjoy the movie.
False.
It's still good.
Strike 4.
Oh God! Kick you out of here.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I just didn't have the same I don't know, ethereal feel. I was there and I was part of the movie.
You weren't really in Joss's backyard. Is that what you
wanted?
That's
exactly. When you're there, so have you guys ever had this experience where you're watching a movie and you're so into it that you can smell what's going on? You're there.
Yeah.
And then when it's over, it's a stunning thing. It's wait, I was there. And now I'm not.
Yeah, now what am I doing in this seat that keeps
Where
folding up
am
in my
I?
butt?
It was one of those.
Who am I? I don't know. I guess I have a lot to ponder.
I'm so glad we brought it back around to that again.
Awesome comeback.
I don't know what's going on. You guys, I just went to go get coffee.
This explains a lot.
And
Just now.
probably thinks I'm an insane person because I left my keys and tried to leave. That didn't work very well. And I looked at her, she's can I get you something? I'm yeah, and I'm trying to talk to her, and she's staring at me, and so it's not on my A game. So here we go.
It's all right. We'll take your B game, laddie.
I found this shirt in this office I'm in, so I'm kind of sweaty. Anyway, these are my shirt.
Take it off.
Okay. Sorry, you were saying something. I interrupted you. You were talking about being somewhere. Or
Not
not being in the movie anymore. Okay.
Yeah, movies that suck you in so much that you're not just emotionally connected, but you're actually there. You plant yourself into the movie.
Yeah.
It's a really weird experience. I don't think I've ever had that sitting in front of the TV.
Yeah, I
can
that's
see
a
that.
good point. It's cool to have that immersion experience in something, but it is really hard to recreate again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
Is that next? Because now they're working on that technology for cell phones where you can smell over the phone. So next is smelly movies. Is that?
I feel I hope not. They do that at Disneyland, and I'm never pleased with it.
Yeah, and it never really works out the way they wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're it smells like oranges. I'm I feel like this whole ride smells like oranges. Oh, and pine trees. I'm no, it still smells like oranges.
Yeah, it all smells like the same thing, right?
Yeah, there's no changing,
Yeah.
Would you do it though if it was okay, so with TV it started off where you had to wear the 3D glasses for 3D, and it's gotten a little bit better. Would you do it if it was a mask that you had to put on to smell everything?
No.
I don't do stuff. I don't put stuff on my face.
Yeah.
Nothing
That's just as a rule, nothing on my face.
I don't even like 3D glasses because they give me a headache, and it's
It was something you could attach to your hand, and you just had to be yep, that's oranges.
You see what you're doing right now? This? No.
No, not good. Not good. You don't want to do that.
Not with that haircut.
Nope.
To do it alone, so nobody can see you. I don't know. I'm just thinking of technology here.
Yeah, I see where you're going with it. I'm gonna give it a nope for now.
No to the smelly TV.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, I also like to read real books. So I'm like, this technology thing, I could barely get this dumb microphone to work. So I'm
That's
like,
true.
eh.
Yeah. What was it that was it Harper Lee who you're railing against?
Yes.
She's allowed to Kill a Mockingbird to be published in ebook format, which I didn't know wasn't a thing before. I'm pretty sure
there's
I have
the
it in a
holdouts.
bootleg ebook.
Yeah, there's like some holdouts, like you can't get Harry Potter. J.K. Rowling won't do hers on ebook.
Can't get Harry Potter. I definitely have Harry Potter in ebook.
Okay, well, whatever.
No,
There's no Catcher in the Rye, which I don't care because I think that book's overrated.
Oh,
But
I'm reading that right now too. Come
What?
on.
yeah, give me a strike. Give me 3 strikes for that. I don't even care. Go ahead. Let's hear it.
It's a period book. You have to remember he wrote it in the 40s.
Okay,
So that's crazy.
great. I know. I'm in the minority. I'm okay with that. Anyway,
I'm kind of with you. There's moments I like in Catcher in the Rye, but as a whole, it's not my favorite.
anyway, so yeah.
Pages in before it gets good.
Yeah.
Before you start to connect with Holden.
I don't want to connect with
I
Holden.
don't want to connect with Holden. Are you kidding me? That would be my worst nightmare if I started understanding what he was feeling like.
If you connect with Holden, you should be watching Parenthood. That's
Oh god, whatever.
Ugh.
Awfulness.
No.
what were we talking about?
Well, we were talking about technology and smelling TVs. Oh, and then Harper Lee selling out
Yeah.
and
I don't remember where we started.
ebooks. We
Do you
were
think
talking
so?
about Clark Gregg.
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere in there. Buried
right.
in there.
We were talking about Trust Me and how great that movie looks because he's adorable.
But
and then the
Avery,
movie
you had a question.
Yeah, my question was, so the other night I was watching some Matthew McConaughey flicks and noticing
Tiptoes, probably.
he's amazing. I think he's amazing. But how he did, what was that movie? It wasn't Mississippi Burning. It was, gosh, what?
Oh, wait. Was it the court one?
Yeah.
Time to Kill?
Time to Kill, right? And so I asked Juliana, my wife, I was like, do you think he'd be good in To Kill a Mockingbird if they like remade To Kill a Mockingbird? Would you cast Matthew McConaughey?
I'm okay with it,
I
personally.
think I would. He's a really good actor now. Like,
I don't know. I'm really attached to Gregory Peck and that whole...
Okay, that's...
well, then who's today's Gregory Peck? I mean, who
There
would
is
you...
no today's Gregory
There is
Peck.
no
Maybe,
today's Gregory
like,
Peck.
Clooney is probably the closest thing I can think of to that, but...
No Clooney.
Because he has gray hair, maybe.
Well, I mean, just, I don't know, that sort of refined, like, dignity of Gregory Peck.
Yeah, but Clooney still has that like bit of arrogance. I don't
Yeah.
know, like something
True.
there.
This is
I
true.
don't throw in there.
I don't know. I don't think we have one.
I almost think like it's sacrilegious to even be talking about this right now.
Maybe, like, a little bit.
Is it okay to maybe say that Matthew McConaughey is today's Gregory Peck?
Hmm.
Wait, who is? I missed it. You cut out.
McConaughey.
Hey,
Oh, you're still on that. Okay.
Peck, yeah.
I
He's
don't know.
today's everybody.
Yeah. I
The
mean,
guy is everywhere and anyone.
aside from the accent, you know,
Yeah,
he's
every
kind of
goes-
got...
He can't get away from it.
No, that's the only thing that sort of is like the hindrance of Matthew McConaughey is he can only play like Texan, you know.
Yeah.
But otherwise, he's
Maybe Zac Efron, like 20 years from now, will be Gregory.
yeah. No, I actually think you could be onto something with that because he actually is a good actor.
Yeah, he's
He
pretty
just
good.
takes stupid roles.
He had that one kind of weird movie a year or two ago where he played like a late teens guy, like coming of age movie. What was the name of that movie? And it was actually pretty good.
The Paperboy one?
Yeah, Paperboy.
They got
That's-
peed on by Nicole Kidman? That one?
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Oh, I do remember hearing about that.
Wait, wasn't McConaughey also in that?
Yeah, you know, I was watching McConaughey and Zac Efron.
Theme.
They go together,
Pretty
right?
sure Avery should tell us his top 5, and number 1
Yeah.
is Matthew McConaughey.
Number one's definitely Matthew McConaughey.
And he wouldn't have been like 2 or 3 years ago, but now he can act.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing.
He
The guy.
probably always could. Well, then again, he could also have just like taken lessons or whatever. But he probably
Yeah.
always could. But that wasn't like
Was
what
also
they
make-
were hiring him for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's
He's-
making better choices, too.
Yes, really good choices now.
Although there's no better choice than the wedding planner.
True!
Honestly,
I
Massimo. Come on.
I
What was the one, like, how to lose it?
manly bonding.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Yeah, wasn't he in that one too?
Yeah, it was.
Mhm.
That was a Kate Hudson
Stellar.
gem.
Kate Hudson Gem. Yeah, that was a good one. That's one of the few chick flicks I'm into.
Which one? 10 Things or
yeah.
10 Things? Oh, well,
That
obviously
too. 10 Things I Hate About You. Also another one.
How to Lose or
Yeah.
Wedding?
Both.
I love Wedding. I can actually probably my fun fact, my high school email was from Wedding Planner, so...
I knew that. What was it again?
Nancy Pong.
Nancy Pong.
Nancy Pong,
Like
2C. This is Mira Fiore in 7H. Who? You don't know me. I'm a control freak and I don't have time for people. But if you ever need to borrow a cup of sugar, I can't help you because I don't have time to shop.
And you do know all of it.
I do. I'm not ashamed.
Oh, that was so glorious.
So good. Oh, God, I love that movie.
Yeah.
I have it on VHS. That's how much I love it.
That's commitment.
I can't watch it because I don't have a VHS player, but I do have it on VHS.
There. Part of the connection.
Before we're
Struggle is real.
Since we've been talking forever, we should also address David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson.
That was the best face. I wish I had a screen capture of.
You can take one later. It'll be good.
I'm just so ready for this, right? Like, I feel like David Duchovny, his life has gone down so many paths, and I feel like Gillian is like calling him home. Like, she is the siren that he needs. He's gone to all these other sirens, and she's just like reeling him in. Except,
what's your mythology thing today? Like,
Yeah, weird.
yeah, like maybe it's
All
just,
over
it's
the
Monday. It's Monday. Mythology Monday, right?
Mythology Monday.
It's like,
Avery Holton.
what is it, like shuttlecocking between both things here? Like,
Anytime you can say shuttlecock, I think it is something.
yeah. Well, I'm just saying between, like, never mind. That made sense before I said it out loud, and then it stopped making sense.
That's
So.
fine.
But yes, I agree. I like it. Keep going, though. I like, oh, dang it, Corey.
Oh, I disappeared, didn't I?
Yeah,
It's okay.
you put hands up.
Finish your thought, Avery. He's coming home.
Yeah, so I was reading. I've been following this, because it's been going on since the X-Files, since like the early '90s or mid '90s, and then at Comic-Con they had their thing, and then
I was there, by the way. I was in that audience.
Did you witness?
And I was just melting in my seat.
I don't know if like they're playing the crowd so much is like, if you're playing the crowd that much, there's at least some hint of truth to it. And then the picture the Reddit picture where they're in the same hotel bed, it was the first time where I was like, if you actually look at them, they look like they're in love. They don't just look like they're like hanging out. She's glowing, radiant. He's got this like calm down look on his face. It's really, it's powerful stuff, right?
This is like, okay, this is what we want to happen because they can be a thing. There's no reason for them not to be a thing at this point. And we all have to deal with the fact that Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet just keep doing the like, oh, it's the love of my life, but I just want to be best friends. Screw that.
Yeah.
We have David and Gillian as our hope.
Yeah. She's right here. And it's like, you want to see, at least I do, I want to see him succeed so badly because he's had, the sex addiction and all these other addictions, and he's been knocked down and he's back up, and now it's like something good could finally happen if they'll let it.
Also,
They just open their hearts, you guys. You just got to open their hearts to the possibility of love.
He also had the best failure in Final Jeopardy on Celebrity Jeopardy in the world, where the answer was clearly Colonel Sanders, because it was like something about this Kentucky businessman and all that kind of stuff, and the thing comes up and he had answered, "Who is Jim Beam?" It's like, that tells you everything you need to know about David Duchovny.
He was in the area. Yeah. Tell what he was thinking of, right? Sex and whiskey,
bourbon.
Like his four things.
He's like, what are you looking at, old man? I ain't a bottle of Jim Beam.
I just want to capture all of these laddie moments, and
I'm just gonna do only movie quotes the entire rest of this time.
I would believe that you could do it.
I think I might be able to.
Work in the hand quote for David Duchovny and Zoolander.
Oh! Since we've been having Zoolander Day here.
Run!
Oh, man.
At the end, it's all like Skeletor, and he's like...
Yeah.
It was a bright spot, though, in his series of failures. Was a good one.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, I think he's always kind of had a sense of humor about himself, which is nice. A very dry, sort of caustic sense of humor, but... he can laugh at his struggles. But, and like, she was there the whole time, right? Like, they had to have been communicating, late night phone calls and just, like, crying to each other. And...
Stolen moments, you guys.
You can't have that many mysteries. I mean, how many episodes? Like 140-something episodes of mystery. without at least once gazing into each other's eyes, pondering the mysteries of the world together,
Yep.
and wondering like what's underneath those clothes over there.
Oh, they have to have hit it. Like, there's no way they haven't hit it.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they're an item, that's questionable, but they have to have hit it.
Do you think they call each other character names? Because he calls her character names on Twitter.
On
but she
Twitter.
doesn't character names.
Yeah. I don't know.
So, I don't know. She calls him Fox.
Oh, she should call him Fox.
Or what? Like,
Or Foxy, like with an IE, like a little pet name.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would call
Do
him
you think they sing that song together?
What would you call him, Avery?
Dee. Because he's David Duchovny. I'd be like, oh yeah, Dee.
Dee Dee's
Bring
cute,
it on
I
over there.
guess.
It's kind of more like, that's like a girl name though, isn't it?
I'd
Like
call him
Dee Dee.
Ducky.
Ducky.
Yeah, Duchovny.
Duchovny. Oh, I get it. I see what you're doing. I see you. I see you.
You could do something with that. Mm-hmm.
What is she like? Jilly Bean? Jilly Badilly?
Or Gigi.
Or Gilligan, depending on what you're into.
Did you say Gilligan?
Gilligan. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. Every time I see her name, it looks like Gilligan to me. So I'm like, oh.
Yeah, the G is weird. She probably could never get those personalized license plates as a kid because who spells her name with a G like that? You know?
Like almost all the Gillians I knew growing up spelled it with a G.
G.
Oh, well.
But then
Okay.
there's that girl on Community. Her name's
Yeah.
Her name's Gillian, not Jillian.
Yeah. It's
Aw,
Yeah.
like Gilly. Maybe he calls her Gilly.
Gilly.
Mm-hmm. I think he just calls her Scully because he's like in Scully.
He's like, I heart Scully.
Oh, that's
It's kind of sweet.
that whole exchange
I
was
ship
pretty
it.
sweet.
I ship it.
Oh
hard.
Ship it.
Gosh.
You ship
It's-
Avery
what are-
shipping pretty hard over here.
I don't even know what I'm shipping. Like, what am I going to
You're
ship?
shipping them together. You want them to have a
Relationship.
relationship.
Is that what that means?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought, so when I was reading it today, I was like, all right, the Brits have come up with some other word. And
Yeah.
all I'm thinking of is like shipping something off on an old British boat. Like, that's all I
You know
could
how
think
people, it's like people who shorten words now, like, oh, obvi, or like totes. It's like
So
ship.
us.
We're in a ship.
It's like a Tumblrism.
I know.
You ship something, and if it's like the ship you're really into, it's your OTP, your one true pairing.
I don't
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm old now. It's so weird. Like, I'm old. Because everyone else knew what shipping was, and I was like the old man that's like, what is shipping? It's, I don't know.
If it makes you feel better, I had to Google it when people were talking about Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Emma Watson. They're like, "Oh, we ship this." I'm like, "Okay, I gotta look this up. I don't get it." And then I got it. So that was only like a month ago.
I also don't know if I ship that, but that's
Well, that was like a thing, right? People that was like on the internet
Was it?
or something. I don't know. I saw it once.
I missed that. It wasn't on my Tumblr dashboard, so
Okay, well, it was on like Yahoo.
Yeah.
That's where I get my news.
It's like,
That's where my email is.
what were they calling it on our Moone Boy? They were calling kissing like
oh,
something close to shipping. It's like,
yeah.
Snogging?
What was
What?
it?
Snogging? That's
No,
what they
it
do.
wasn't something that obvious. So it sounded almost violent, whatever they called it.
it's another S word, and they say it over and over again.
Yeah,
And I had to look it up, and I was like, it's like something like slipping or whatever,
yeah.
but it's like kissing with tongue. And it's like this S word that they use in Ireland.
Oh.
It's like, I don't know this word either. Like, what has happened? These aren't an AP style. They're not AP style. I don't know it.
This is what's making journalism hard in this day and age. Is that
Keep up.
teenagers and so forth don't speak English anymore. We
Right.
I've adopted
yeah.
these isms as well. So you have to like decipher everything those of us on Tumblr say.
Yeah. Can you guys hear my dogs barking? You might have to edit
Totally. That's adorable.
It's fine.
that.
Mine does it sometimes too. It's
So
all-
we live in a corner house. You can edit this out, and they're barking at people that walk by. And I have tiny dogs, like a little, Beagle mix and a little Aussie mix. And the Aussie mix doesn't bark at anybody. She just wants to be loved. And so she goes, and while the Beagle's barking, she's trying to lick his face to get him to stop barking.
Aww.
Calm down. And
It's gonna be okay.
he just won't. Like right now, somebody's actually messing with them. They're like looking over the fence and taunting them. That's not smart.
Yeah, tell her
One
a little
gets
something.
them out. Like, go ahead, go get the kid. I don't care.
So I think we've actually hit all of our topics. We probably went a little bit over time, but
Really?
that's okay.
Shocker.
I had a good time. Did you guys have a good time?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. So
Woo!
thank you, Avery. Avery
Yes.
Holt. Wait, you have to add the T for me. Avery Holt.
10.
Snake, like a.
I can't.
Let's try it again. Let's try it again.
Avery Holt.
Tuh.
Well,
Now it's like spitting. Tuh.
that's the thing. Like, I can do it. Like, I could say Avery Holton,
Yeah.
overemphasize it, or I don't at all.
Really do it that way.
Thank you, Avery, so-and-so,
Let's just go with that.
for joining us and regaling us with your stories today and being a part of Electric Fancave. And welcome, Kristin Latourelle, to the gang.
Thank you.
You'll be seeing more of her as we move on. Hope you enjoyed her antics and quoting. There will be more movie quotes. That's a guarantee. So make sure you check out electricfeast.com and the blog so that you can see all the links that we talked about and things like that. Don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Tumblr, YouTube, all those places where you can subscribe to things. And if you have a moment, rate and review on iTunes because it helps people find us, which is always a good thing. Until next time, I'm Corrigan. Your turn, laddie.
Oh, I'm Kristin.
And that's Avery over there.
That was awkward.
Hanging out.
I ship y'all.
Aw.
Right? I ship you.
We ship you all.
Sure.
Peace out, everybody.
Yeah. And it's way too hard on here. It's like too tiny and moving around. It's still pretty
It's for little people.
Yeah.
What is this, an arcade game for ants?
It needs to be at least 3 times this size.